Good afternoon. Dumelang. Yeah, anyone here from Sandton? Guys living in Sandton. I was here a year ago in March, 1st of March. And it was the best decision I've ever made in my entire life to come here. So I'm gonna share my story. I share my story, a lot to a lot of strangers, but this is the first time I'm sharing my story to fellow addicts and alcoholics. And so, I hope you can take something from me and that's going to inspire you on your journey. So, it all started when I graduated from university and I was excited to get a job, and I was living in Cape Town, and I was coming home and diploma so it, so I was coming home to just to come and see the guys, because this is the first time in like 4 or 5 years that I haven't been home, and they're Machida excited, and it's Machida, and we're gonna have a good time over the weekend, and then I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna go back to Cape Town and continue working and everything like that. I come to the airport, Machida. I ping on Facebook. It was back in the day of Facebook where you ping and you said, okay, I'm at the airport, and then the guys give me a call to be like, Doana Razoala, we'll be there now. 30 minutes later, Machida here, in a nice Cadillac. I used to play soccer with these guys growing up. I was the one guy I was the only guy in Ukasiago who went to school in the suburbs, and then the rest of the boys went to school Gogasi, but used to play soccer together, and like the Bafatela blind Machida, and it got to the point whereby Machida came, and I'm excited. We're gonna paint the town red, I'm like, Machida, drinks on me. I'm working. Don't worry about everything. I booked the whole hotel for us for the night. Let's go get some girls, get some booze, relax and have a good time and make memories. I had Machida come through. They fetch me in the car, sharpo. There's 3 guys. The one guy I don't know. He's driving the car. I know the other 2 guys. He has a tattoo on his face saying Pablo. So Pablo, maybe 10 minutes into driving, whips out a bag of cocaine. I've always been a YOLO type of guy. I'm like, okay, too. But it's always been limited to like Gauza, weed, beer. It was never anything more. That day I'm like, I could short, let's do it. First hit of cocaine. And I came alive. And I was so excited. Machida were looking at me like, and we looked at each other. And that look that you give each other when you're both having hits, and lines and stuff. You're like, you on Doana, it's on. It's on. We go to Blam. Now I've got this energy. I walk out the car because I've got I'm confident. Like the store, just baby girl, yes, come here. It was like that, and then went to Stones in Melville, and we partied, got more bags. And we just party, went back to the car, and then it's just like, it just became a freak show, Now it's time to go back home. As soon as we get in the car, The guy starts the car. Pablo starts the car. As he starts the car, I just see guys with guns and shit just surrounding the car. There's about like 6 guys. I'm thinking we're getting hijacked. So now I'm like, hey, no, this is not my car. Let me just get out. I didn't even make it 10 seconds. I just hear a gun hit my head. I wake up in a cell. Pablo's there, and the other guys are there who were there. The girls are not there that we were with. I have this massive headache. I'm like, and then before we could even get to understand what was going on in that whole situation, they call Pablo, and they take me and the other guy. They were like, "Oh, you're the guy with the nice accent." Oh, okay, I know. We're going to show you. You know, they throw me in a cell, one man. For 2 days, I don't know what was going on. I didn't get a phone call, didn't get nothing. And then the Monday comes where now we have to go to court now. It's the Monday. We're going in the cell before court, you know, getting out of the cell that we were in, and now they put us in the cell before going to court. And then some guys are going to, who don't get bail, are going to Sun City, and then if you get bail, you're going home. In that cell, before going to court, they tell me that no, I took fingerprints and stuff like that, and then the charge was possession of a stolen car, and yeah, that was the charge. So the constables were thinking that I'm the mastermind who stole this car. This car was involved in the murder, and there was just so many things going on in my mind. I didn't even know what was going on. I get bail. But long story short, what happens is that I was working in accounting at an accounting firm, but because this case is taking so long, if you're awaiting trial, you can't work in financial services in this country. So after 2 weeks, I had to tell my boss what was going on, because I thought that, you know what, okay, I'm gonna buy this case if I need to buy it, you know, or something's gonna happen. But I didn't steal this car, you know, and I wasn't in possession of this thing. I was a passenger, you know. The case lasts 2 years. Can't get a job for 2 years. I go back home, go gas. You know, after the 1 year, because I can't pay rent now, living in Cape Town. Go back, go gas. I have my mom who's there to support me. You know, she was like, okay, what are you gonna do now? And she knew that I was innocent and that all these things, and so now we're just trying to figure out life. But then I'm like, you know what? I have this business brain, and I'm thinking, okay, let me try and push business Mogasi. Pushing business Mogasi. And cat was just a thing that I used to, once in a while, you know, just visit on occasion, you know. Beer was the main thing. COVID hit. I began supplying booze illegally to the white people that I knew, right? From who lived in the suburbs, and because I still had that connection from Varsity, and a lot of guys needed booze. I had a car, and I had a plug, Kokasi, who used to give me booze, and I was just moving booze like every day, crates and crates and crates of booze. That became my hustle. And then during that time, I was like, you know what, let me just go back to school. And I had an idea for education, and I was like, you know what, let me. I think people are going into teaching. You know, let me just go into teaching because it's looking like if you can't, if somewhere else, you just fall into teaching. You know, and that's what I did. Studied teaching, and as I was studying teaching, I had this idea. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the PGCE, study to become a teacher. When I go, then I worked as a teacher, and I was studying my honors. And they posted me in Maritzburg. And things were nice. Things were starting to look up. Maritzburg was lonely though. I needed a girlfriend, and I was like, okay. Found a girl from Newcastle. Moved back to Jersey. This girl she also used to do CAT sometimes, so I was like, perfect situation, you know? Got a girlfriend, she believes in my dreams, she's focused, light skin, yellow bone, but also she does CAT, you know, on the side, so, you know, it was like that type of situation. I'm in love, first time in love ever in my life. We're like Bonnie and Clyde, we're going vacationing, you know, we're doing drugs, you know, we just being wild, you know. Girlfriend breaks up with me. When the girlfriend breaks up with me, because she broke up with me because she said that I'm an alcoholic. I thought you were having fun. Right? You know, that's what we do. Our relationship is we party, right? We drink, and you know, we do the things that old people do. You know, any way we can do it. You know, that was our relationship. We were this wild, fun couple. But now you bring up with me because you're saying I'm an alcoholic when we're doing all of this together. You know, but I didn't want to see it. Right. I didn't want to see what she was trying to make me see in myself. That it wasn't becoming fun anymore because now, like, when am I going to grow up? When am I going to become serious? When am I going to actually build a career? And I wasn't seeing all these things that she was telling me, you know. I was only seeing the here and now and having fun in the here and now. I wasn't seeing from a long-term perspective that I was not someone who to build a life with. And that broke me. The broken man, moved out of Maritzburg, came back to Jersey. When I came back to Jersey, I was like, okay, let me go study again. You know, I was like, okay, sharp, let me go do this master's thing. Did the master's in education, but now I'm living in Jersey, and I'm the most saddest person ever. Like, I don't even want to go out, I don't want to do anything. I'm just like, I don't even know that a man could reach this level of pain because of a girl, you know? And that's at the time, that's what I was thinking. It's because of this girl why I'm feeling this pain. Anyway, one day I'm just walking and I meet the same guys who I got arrested with. I meet 2-3 years later, I meet those very same guys. Pablo was still in jail, but the other guys that were there, and just the other guys from the fire who run the streets in Jersey, you know. Like, I didn't know what they did at the time. I knew, okay, maybe Batsurapo or something, but I didn't know exactly what these guys used to do. And then the guys were like, how to say, what's going on? Why are you so sad? Whatever. I tell the guys that, hey man, this girl left me and whatever. And this girl was the center of my world, the center of my universe. Just left me. Yeah, I don't want to do anything. The guys took me to Chicky Tiger. You know, the guys were like, hey man, you gotta forget about this girl, it's gonna take you to Chicky Tiger. And I'm there, the whole time I'm there at Chicky Tiger, I'm just like, hi man, I want to be here, man. The guys throw a bag on the table, they're like, a couple of lines, you'll be fine, you know. I hit a line, I'm not fine. And then this one guy, he was like, Don, I know what's gonna make you happy. So he got 2 girls. We went upstairs with those 2 girls. He was like, Ndwana, pay for these 2 girls, whatever, and Safai Kliba, take out whatever monies that needed to be taken out. And the guy takes out some crystal. And he was like, yeah, I think this will make you happy. And I smoked crystal for the first time in my life. And it was the best feeling I've ever felt. The best thing that had ever happened to me at that time in my mind, that's what I'm thinking, was that crystal. Couldn't believe it. I could see in color again. I'm feeling like everything looks amazing, it feels amazing. You're just like, you know? And now these girls are also here, you know? All of a sudden, John, King, you know, pigs, and it becomes one of the best nights that I had in my life. Every day after that, I was going to machine. Every day after that for like 6 months, I knew, and then I got orientated slowly but surely into life demonstrating. Okay, machida, bapanda so, you know. Next to Bree, there's like a KFC opposite that. Next to the KFC, there's like you go upstairs, there's like a gaming place where you like play slots and stuff. Yeah? So the guys used to chill there. Even if Machida didn't have a phone or whatever, I know where to find the guys. That between these hours, the guys would be there, smoke some more, and I'd go to school after that. And then slowly but surely, I started spending more and more time in Bree. Got to the point whereby I was even spending the whole day and even sleeping in there. There's a place there in Bree called Esbai, you know, where the taxis park. And I chill there with the guys, you know. There was a taxi that didn't move, right? That didn't have any wheels. A guy called Bracho used to sell out of that taxi. I always used to be at Bracho's place. I was #1 customer, #1 supporter of Joe. I always used to chill with the guys. And for me, it was just a relief to be around people who, where I didn't have to face myself, you know. I didn't have to face the fact that I wasn't where I wanted to be from a career perspective. I didn't have to face the fact that all my other peers were way ahead of me, right? And I was, you know, here, heartbroken, or whatever the case is, right? And I was like, whenever I would come, they'd know, okay, now let's say he's going to drop some bags in jail, the whole night, you're going to be nice. And then I started seeing what was happening in the underworld in Jersey and what happens after 10 at night in Jersey, you know? And it's a totally new world after 10 at night, you know? And now I'm smoking crystal, the paranoia is starting to hit. I'm like, yeah, I think I need a knife here, you know? Yeah, because you know? And a couple of days after that, it was the first time, you know, guns were kind of pointed at me, and because people were like, this guy has money. And now I'm seeing like the evil in it, you know? And long story short, maybe I escaped that situation. They tried to recruit me into this gang, and I escaped the situation. And it was the most scared I've ever been in my life, where everyone was, it's almost like, you know, when people talk about opening up your third eye and seeing the devil and doing whatever. It was that. I was in the situation where guys were trying to initiate me into Satanism. And I'd never used to take these things like seriously, the devil and all these things. I was like, ah, man, these things, they don't exist, whatever, you know, it's these are things you see in movies or whatever. But when I was sitting in that empty taxi being initiated into Satanism, not knowing that I was being initiated into Satanism at that time, but then, guys, I'm hearing things, I'm seeing things, I'm feeling that I'm going to another dimension, can't explain it. I'm like, now machida machigela, and it's almost like I was sold to these other guys who, you know, and I was the most scared I've ever been in my whole life. And at that moment, I think I prayed. I knew that God was real for the first time in that moment, even though I was a guy who kind of grew up going to church and stuff. But at that moment, when I'm confronted with this huge amount of force of evil that I can't explain, but it's a massive force of evil, and you could see it, and you can kind of see it, but you're almost hearing also these things, and these guys are telling you, yeah, you must see Diablo and all these things. They're telling me that this is how life is going to be. We need you. You need me for what? You know, I'm busy asking all these questions. And after they told me, they even tried to do it so many times, and I could almost feel like something's leaving my body. And I think I prayed in my mind to God for the first time. I was like, God, save me from the situation. If you can save me from the situation, like, you know, I'll never go back. And then this guy's tricks that he was pulling weren't working anymore, and he was seeing that these things weren't working anymore. And then I passed out, and I woke up the next day at like 6 p.m. and I looked around in the taxi and no one was there, and I heard like a whisper saying, leave. And Isbayen is right next to the taxi rank, and I literally just walked to the taxi rank, got home, went to my mother and told her everything. And the week after that I was here at Tranquility. And coming to Tranquility, it was the first time where I had to be honest with myself. Ubong, he told me, like, you're full of shit, you know, because I had this mask on, right? That, no, I'm this guy, I'm Lesedi, you know, educated guy. Even Uncle Ronnie, you know, he was there, and he was like, you're just full of shit, right? And I was full of shit. I was lying. I used to, like, you know, I didn't know what honesty looked like. That's how many lies I've told. You know, when that you end up not knowing what living in truth looks like. That, you know, every conversation there's a lie that you tell, even though there's no need, you know? Yeah, and that was my journey into Tranquility. It was the most amazing time that I had, because for the first time I was looking around and I didn't have to lie to anyone. All of us here were in the same boat, you know? We were all full of shit, and we all were pathological liars. We were all drunkards. You know, we all had these dirty thoughts. You know, we've all done the worst things. You know, all of us. And for the first time, I felt at home amongst a group of addicts and alcoholics. We'd have conversations till the AMs every night. I'd have a conversation with someone till the AMs about our experiences, and we had so many of our experiences were so similar with crystal meth, you know. And you know, you lose your mind when you're on crystal, and a lot of experiences you don't know whether they're real or not, and you'll tell someone about an experience that you had and they had a similar experience. And then even this thing with Diablo and Third Eye and all these things, you meet other people who had the same experiences, and it was amazing for me, because that's when I was like, okay, I want to live different. I need to understand who this God that saved me is for myself. And so for me, I came out of Tranquility, went back to school. Old lady was there to support, and I read the NA book, and I went to online meetings for a bit, but then there was still some void in me that was like, no man, let me figure out who this God is that saved me from this evil, because I could not have saved myself from that situation. I was gone. And so I started reading the Bible from Genesis chapter 1, and I didn't skip a verse, and I didn't skip a page, and I'm like in Psalms now, and it's just been the best feeling, like a privilege to get to understand, the history of creation and who this God is that saved me, and so that's what I want to share, man. Like I've been saved from the pits of hell, and it's only by the grace of God that I'm here. The one thing that I thought that I'd never leave, which I left, which is cigarettes. I'm 6 months clean of cigarettes. And yeah, man, life is good. God is good. Thanks, guys.